Alrighty, today we're going to have a look at this case. This is the quarter-final case from last year. Election to coming, written by the founder himself. Normally with Andrew's cases I find that I get on quite well, so we'll see how we go. I think our brains just happen to work in a similar way. So let's jump in and have a go. Like last time, we're going to set this for just shy of 30 minutes. Just to give us time for copying things across, which is something you have to do in the real one. And let's hide the answers. Where's the... Doesn't give you a score thing, does it not? Okay, so there's no total score thing for marking. Ah, there it is. It's normally bigger than that. There we go. Just being blind. And column F. Excellent. Let's go. So, the King of Fotlandia. We had Speedlandia in a previous round. This is the country of Fotlandia. The King's about to resign and change to a parliamentary republic. We need to model possible election outcomes in the country so that we can fix it to whatever suits us the best. There are 100 voters living in the country, and they each cast their votes for 5 different political parties. However, in the near future, level 5, the number of voters will grow to 1,000. Detailed instructions for each level below. You can get a total of 1,000 points and 200 points for solving the bonus point, 250 points, surely. Levels 4 and 5 are independent of each other. They have the same level of complexity but test different skill sets. If you get stuck on 4, move to 5. So 3 bonuses. What's the highest possible number of points a party can get with the voting system as on level 2? What's the minimum payment John Average receives for his services under level 3? And how many votes were given for the blue-white party across the 105 election scenarios below? Okay. So level 1, each voter has 1 vote. So 100 voters, did it say? It did indeed. How many votes were given for purples? That'll be nice and easy. Level 2, more complicated. The vote of the first voter is worth 1 point. The next voter is worth 1 point if it's another party, but 2 points for the same party. And then it increases as it goes. If 3 voters in a row, it's 6 points. 4 voters in a row, 10 points, and so on. Okie dokie. How many points will the BW Blue Whites get? The King has decided to do it a different way. John Average is an election analyst. He works for a consulting agency monitoring public opinion. His final forecast before the election day is each party will get exactly 20 votes. Well, there we go. Just blindly say it's going to be absolutely hung. Miss Average's payment is tied to the precision. Well, that's probably the best way of not building a model to maximise, I suppose. If he's fully correct, he gets £1 million. However, for each vote of difference, for each party, it's decreased by 10,000. So if red gets 19 and purple gets 21, then he loses 20,000. How much money will he get? Okay. This doesn't seem too difficult at the minute. This looks a little bit more difficult. On the actual election day, the vote counting machine crashed and the voting results were summarised in the form of colours corresponding to each party. How many voters have cast their votes for the winning party? So we're just going to need to change these to be not colours. That's fine, we can do that. Oh, and then this is a bit more. Fotlandia had a baby boom 20 years ago. The next election there'll be 1,000 voters. Each vote is presented in this long text string. It's not split up by semicolons, so we're going to have to be a bit clever about how we split that out. How many voters cast their votes for the winning party? Okay. Okay, so this is simply counted these, and I'm assuming P is purple. P is purple. Does that give us 2? Just give us 2. Let's get with that. This one we're going to build out. So we're going to choose the columns from this. I don't mean columns, do I? I mean rows. Every time. Using D1. There's all our votes. And what is it we want to do? We want the list of teams, parties, and we're going to do a count if range criteria, and then we simply want the max from that. Is that right? Nope. No, right, this is the weird one. That's more level 3. Let's create a copy, call it level 3. Got those rules confused in my head. So that'll be useful for level 3, but for level 2 we want something a bit more specific. So that's a 1. And if this is equal to that, then it's that plus 1, otherwise it's 1. And we're just going to do that the whole way along. Now we're going to use our filter function. We're going to filter this and lock it by this locked equals this. And we're going to sum the whole lot. So black gets 43, and we want the PW, which is 17. I'm assuming 20 questions. Yeah. So we can data table this. Automatic calculations, as always, are turned off. Turn them on, get our answers. Bam. It's giving me a score at each point. I don't want to see any of those because I don't want to know. I want to sit in ignorance. Level 3. Change this to these. And then we want to do 20 minus this. We want the absolute version of that. So the absolute version will make it positive if it's negative, we'll leave it as it is if it's positive. And then we want to know the total number that they were off by. And this is 1 million. Take away this times 10,000. So was that 640,000? It was indeed. Excellent. Let's come back to level 4. Because level 5 is similar to level 3. In that we need to know for each party, and then we're going to take the max. So we, in this time, are going to use index to grab the full string. And then we're going to separate this out. So let's do, if the leftmost of this, let's see, so P is always P, R is always R, Y is always YB, and then B is sometimes B and sometimes BW. So if left 2 so the two most left things equals BW, or the leftmost two things equals YB, then we want the leftmost two things, otherwise we want the leftmost one thing. We need a closed bracket there. Okay, that will work. Let's pop that there. I said there were 1,000 photos, which makes this easier because otherwise we'd have to try and make a guess as to what the maximum is going to be. And then this is just going to be the text after this, based on that. Ooh. Should have noticed that. Wrong colour. Here we go. Oh, we've got 1,001 votes there. So that's the first vote, and that's YB. That's the second vote. Okay, no, that's right. And then we just want to check. Equals true. Okay. And now we want to do the count if along this, based on that. And this is going to be if our check is true, it's going to be whatever the maximum number of votes is. Otherwise, that lets us know there's an error. 234 should have been our example. It was. Excellent. How are we doing? 15 minutes left. Excellent. How am I going to deal with this? I know exactly how we're going to deal with this. Let's do find and replace this format with a P for purple. Okie dokie. Now we're going to do what was yellow, yellow, blue. YB. Taking way longer because I didn't tell it just to do those ones. These are just R for red. I should just memorize these. These aren't. R for red, B and BW. R for red, B for black, and BW for blue white. Okie dokie. And what was the question? How many photos are cast that votes for winning party? So that is the same That's level 5. Beat all that. Choose rows. First bit should be 1. That's fine. And now we just want that max 42, 42. And let's get on to these bonus questions. As I said, Andrew's cases seem to work with my brain quite well. What's the highest possible number of points a party can get with the voting system on level 2? So level 2, so that's just going to be the 100th triangle number. What's team 2 about? Like, what's this team thing about? I don't know what that is. But I think this is just the sum of the first 100 numbers. 50-50. Good odds. What's the minimum payment he receives for his services under level 3? So what's the most wrong he can be? So we want to know, when is this number highest? So let's just say, for example, that someone got 100 votes and everyone else got 0. Well, that's 160. Does that make it lower? No, it doesn't. What about this? No. Okay, so it looks like the intuitive thing is right. And it looks like the worst you can get is if they're all wrong. Ooh. He can get a negative thing. What's the minimum payment he receives under his service? Oh, from the scenarios. Okay. Alright, so we just want the minimum of this then. 260,000. How many votes were given for BW across all scenarios, including examples? Okay, first things first. Get the easy ones out of the way. Okay. Right, levels 1 to 4. And then the level 5, let's do another one of these, and let's make this a text join of both of these. Nope, that's not how text join works. With a semicolon and a 1 and all of these, this will make it... no, we don't even need to do that, we can just do this. There we go, okay. Data table B1. So bonus 3 is going to be count if that's not worked, so let's cheat it. Let's do unit operator of this. NA, where's my NAs? Did something wrong there. Let's try that again. So it should be that, and that, and that, and that, and those, and those, and those, and those. Okay, some of these are still wrong. That's this one, and this one. Went too far. 1599. And then we're going to want to know the full sum of these, and then we're going to want to know the sum of the two. 5681. I don't feel great about this, so let's just see, can we really quickly do this another way? And then for these ones we're going to take the length of this, we're going to take away the length of this if we replace BWs with nothing over 2. Whole thing over 2. We need to do the over 2 because BW is 2 things long. And then we want a sum of this whole column. 5681. 5681. Okay. 5 minutes to go plus the 2 minutes and a half. So we've got time to copy it across, and there we go. Perfect score. There we go. Andrew's cases. Oh, I really like Andrew's cases, but I think other people do too. So if we just pull up the tournament bracket, this was the quarter-finals. Andrew Ngai. There we go. Perfect score. So it was Brittany, perfect score. Joseph, everything right apart from the bonuses. Michael Jarman, almost perfect score. Looks like it very possibly would have come down to timing in a lot of those cases, but good result, happy with that. I don't think there was anything too complicated in there for what we did. We used this countif function for this one for level 2. We just counted how many BWs there were. For level 3 we counted how many of each one there were, took that away from 20, took the absolute value of it, so if it was -4 it was 4, if it was 4 it's 4, added all those up, times that by 10,000 to take that away from 1,000,000. In level 4 we had to do the find and replace using the format setting, otherwise it was just a case of working out what the maximum number of votes was. Level 5 we had to split this out. The way that we did it was sort of one thing at a time, just checking whether the leftmost value was BW or YB. We also put in a nice little check just to make sure that we were in fact having 1,000 photos. We didn't have any issues with that though. And then on the bonuses we just did a little bit of of trialing just to work out level 2, what's the highest possible number of votes. So that was secret. That was simply every single vote for that party. So that is the sum of all numbers between 1 and 100, because there's 100 voters. So sequence gives you an array of all the numbers from 1 to 100, and then sum adds those all up. So a nice little 100 triangle number, 50-50. The minimum payment of the scenarios, we just looked at got the minimum of all of these. And how many votes were given for the BW party, the blue-white party, across all of the scenarios, including examples. We did this 2 ways. So the first way, because I didn't quite trust it, the first way was stacking up everything from levels 1 to 4, and turning this into an array of truth and falses, and summing up how many of those were true. And then we added that to the number of black-white, BW, blue-white votes for each stage in level 5. And then just to check it, we, for levels 1 to 4, just counted the number of BWs. And for level 5, at the end, we did this, which is a good way for counting number of occurrences. So we got the length of the word, and then we replaced BW with nothing, and got the length of that, and take the 2 away, and you'll see how many characters difference that is. Because we're replacing something that's 2 characters wide, BW, with nothing, we then divide it by 2 to get the answer. And both of those ways gave us the same answer, which was good. That confirmed it was the right answer. And that was how we did that one. There we go. As usual, with a lot of these things, quite easy if you know how to do it. That one that we did yesterday with the dicey battle, that was one of the way harder ones. I'm still not sure how you would do that without getting some level of permutations in. Funnily enough, Jeremy Early posted a video yesterday as well on that same case that we did yesterday, and he used, it was a scene version, just a little practice version. He used a permutations and combinations algorithm that Excel Wizard has created. I don't know if you can actually use that in an actual competition, but it allowed him to attempt not only the case as it stood, but the extended case that Michael had created, which had 2 additional levels, one of which was labelled not very hard, but impossible. So worth giving that a watch. I'll leave a link in the description. Otherwise, that's all for now. Excellent. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye for now.